back to the Programming and Mobile App Development Show. I am Stephen Hustedde, the host, and we have a special guest for today's show. You all know him as the director and primary instructor of the Mobile App Academy at South Mountain. And this next month marks his 30th anniversary as a professor at South Mountain Community College. 10 years as an adjunct while working full-time at Arizona State University, and now in his 20th year as a full-time professor. His credits include writing a programming theory textbook that was used for classes at many institutions, but most notably was adopted for a class at Harvard University. He's given workshops around the country and has created over 300 videos to help students learn to develop software. Please welcome me, Stephen Hustedde. It's so nice to finally have you on the show. I've been a big fan for a long time. Thanks, Stephen. I'm happy to finally be here. It's about time you invited me. So the Mobile App Academy at South Mountain, is that a new venture? Not really. I've been teaching mobile app development for Android and iOS for a number of years now, really since 2013 as part of a Department of Labor TAC grant. And as far as I know, I was one of the first 3 college professors in the country to offer a college course on Xamarin, which is a hot topic for cross-platform native development. So I've been doing this for a while. But we are rebranding and come up with a new strategy and curriculum to make South Mountain hopefully the place in the Phoenix metro area to learn programming and mobile app development. Thus the launch of the Mobile App Academy. Now there are several institutions teaching coding, including some fast-track bootcamp style companies cropping up here in Phoenix in recent years. What makes your program unique? Stephen, I like to refer to the 3 A's. And the first A is accreditation. South Mountain Community College is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. So that means students earn transferable college credit that can be used in an associate's degree or even towards a bachelor's degree at a 4-year institution. The second A is we are affordable. Some for-profit institutions run in excess of $20,000 for a bootcamp approach. Most 4-year institutions charge over $600 per credit hour. And our tuition is only $85 a credit hour. So the entire 36 credits of our full program is just a little over $3,000. And since we are accredited, students can utilize federal financial aid, such as Pell Grants, federal scholarships, and federal student loans. And students who qualify can basically attend tuition free. The third A is approach. Most other programs focus on web apps, or what is known as full stack development. And that's the front end browser stuff and the back end server stuff. Now we teach some of the web app stuff as well, but I'm focused more on native mobile app development, of apps that can be deployed through the stores, and a bit of traditional programming as well. I think this offers a broader range of job opportunities, as well as some of the best paying opportunities. And while boot camps allow one to progress very fast in the program, I believe our more traditional approach allows students to better interact with materials and absorb it at a pace that is conducive to maximize their learning. Don't get me wrong, some of our unique cohort programs, we're progressing at a pretty good clip, but there's still more time to hone and master the content through real-world assignments and other activities outside of class. In fact, several of our students have landed a paid internship or entry-level job only 1 or 2 semesters into the program. Now, Stephen, you mentioned cohort programs. What is a cohort program? Well, traditionally a cohort is a group of students going through a number of classes together, and research has shown that cohort learning is one of the best ways to learn. Students get to know each other at a better level, they get to know the professors, and they spend so much time together in the classroom. Outside of the classroom, they have a built-in support network, and they form study groups and can even be a resource for each other after they've graduated. Cohort learning at South in my program is a bit unique, though. It involves multiple classes taught together as a larger classroom experience of 6 or 9 credits. In our program, we have several tracks. We have C# Xamarin to learn desktop and cross-platform development. We have web apps where programs reside in the cloud and are accessed through the browser or the mobile device. We have native iOS or iPhone, iPad mobile development, as well as native Android development. In the large program encompassing all of this, students would learn multiple programming languages such as Python, C#, Swift, Kotlin, and JavaScript, along with HTML and CSS. And they would also learn multiple tools along the way. Each of these languages has sequential courses. So traditionally, you would have a beginning course, an intermediate course, and an advanced course.
Interesting.
And to get through all these in a timely manner, you're going to have to learn multiple languages in the same semester.
Well, that sounds kind of taxing.
It is taxing. Let's use an analogy. Let's say you were a foreign language student and you come in and I say, okay, you're welcome to college. Your first semester, you're going to be taking beginning Spanish, beginning French, and beginning Russian. Do you think that'd be hard and a bit confusing?
Absolutely.
I'm concerned we do the same thing with programming languages. Now, there are far less syntax and vocabulary in a programming language than a spoken or written human communication language. But why can't we make this simpler?
I like simple.
And not only simpler, but more focused and effective. So rather than learn 3 or 4 languages at once, let's focus on one language at a time. But go far deeper in a shorter period of time, kind of like the boot camp model. Rather than have 3 3-credit classes spread out over 3 semesters, let's combine them into one giant course. Stephen, what's the best way you think to learn French?
Probably go live in France for a few months.
Exactly. And linguist instructors call it immersion. Let's practice immersion in learning programming. I don't intend to knock the boot camp approach because immersion is exactly what they are doing in finding success. Let's focus primarily though on one language and a tool at a time in a traditional approach.
Makes sense.
And here's the other thing. When I used to teach 3 sequential related courses, it was usually a fall course, a spring course, and then another fall course. And of course, what happens between the spring and fall?
As Alice Cooper sings, "School's out for summer."
Exactly. And in those almost 4 months between May and August, how much learning and sharpening one's understanding do you think is taking place?
Well, if they were like me, probably very little.
Of course. And so they come back for that 3rd course, and I spend 2 or 3 weeks just reviewing what they already learned and forgotten. With the cohort approach, we don't have to do that. The learning is all fresh, and it's easily built upon. And that saves time. It allows me to introduce some other topics and skills that are not part of our curriculum, but important stuff for new developers to know and be aware of. Our curriculum process moves slowly, and the latest trends, techniques, and updated tools or language features are often overlooked. So here I can incorporate them. I have some extra time to touch upon the most recent stuff. And I can also take some time to bring in some guests to work with students on soft skills.
Okay, so what are soft skills?
Those are the things that every employer wants to see, but complains all too often that they're lacking. They're more aptly called employability skills. Communication, teamwork, critical thinking, problem solving. I bring in a resume expert to talk about how to write a resume and tips and tricks for the interviewing process. And South is really well known for its storytelling program. Students can benefit from even just a couple hours on how to better communicate and tell stories. Marketing one's mobile app is really enhanced through storytelling. Stephen, we're about out of time. I hear you're doing something special for educators this summer. Can you tell me about that? Yes, thank you. My master's degree was in educational media and computers, and I love to develop educational apps and games and graphics and videos. In fact, for several years, I owned my own software company where I developed classroom games and apps and textbook ancillaries to help people learn and hopefully make learning fun. A lot of teachers now are using iPads and other tablets in the classroom. The industry is moving away from books to multimedia apps that are more interactive. I want to help teachers learn to develop their own custom apps for their classroom. So this summer, I am offering an iOS development cohort of 6 credits to learn how to do iPad and iPhone layouts and write the code to do some cool stuff on an iPad. The course will culminate in each student creating their own educational app for the iPad or the iPhone.
Are there any prerequisites for these classes?
Yes, an introductory object-oriented programming class in any language or previous experience in programming. Now, for those who don't have that, I am offering 2 object-oriented programming fundamental classes this spring, one on Monday evenings and the other online. I will use Python to teach these coding concepts, and as you well know, Python right now is one of the most in-demand languages in the industry. And coincidentally, I think it's one of the easiest languages to learn. Thank you, Stephen. One last thing. How can someone get more information if they're interested?
They can email me at hustedde@southmountaincc.edu or can call me in my office at 602-305-5605.
Well, that's all the time we have left. Happy coding to you all.